Next, for micro project 2, I'd like you to come up with some sketches. So both of these micro projects are worth 20 points. And you're going to submit your sketches to this Browse My Computer. You're going to submit your sketches here. And I'd like you to do these in a traditional sort of way, so just with marker or pen or a pencil. Don't get digital with these just yet. Do something by hand, and they can be fairly rough. So here are some student examples. They don't have to be more than line drawings like this. They don't. It's not that important if you're. You don't have to be a great illustrator or have a lot of experience drawing. Just get something on paper that'll give me and you a good idea of what you're planning to do. It's always a good idea to use some sort of reference, like maybe a photographic reference to draw from, and not just come up with things off the top of your head. Like, I would generally stay away from things that are really cartoony. All right, so you are going to research design. I'm calling this icon design, but you know, it's also called a spot illustration. This is an illustration that goes into a layout. So there's another Pinterest board that has all kinds of examples of different styles that you can look at. And you know, maybe you want to go with something that's a little bit more stylized or cartoony. That can be okay, but I think you should reference things that have already been done, and if this is a style that you like, I don't want you to copy it exactly. I don't want you to plagiarize, but this could certainly inspire you to come up with some of your own icons and try to emulate this style or mimic this style a bit, and that's totally fine. But they do need to be your own original work. Okay, so you could go for something like this. You could go for something that looks a little bit more realistic and three-dimensional, and that's fine as well. Again, I would suggest that you use these, if there's a particular style that you're gravitating toward, that you look at these and say, you know, I really like this kind of a style right here. Then see if you can kind of use this as a reference to emulate, but don't copy. All right, and then I want you to come up with a minimum of 6 to 10 of these thumbnail sketches. So a thumbnail sketch is just a really small sketch. Again, they can be fairly rough. And then when you're finished with these, you can either scan or take your phone and take a photograph of these sketches, and then just upload those images to the assignment link, which is here. So underneath, so notice that each of these micro projects has a folder, and the first item inside the folder, if you click on that, is going to be the area where you can submit your files. Okay, so that's how I'd like you to do it. And just something else here with the student examples, make sure that if you are photographing your sketches, that they're clear. Okay, so make sure that I can see them. And if you need to go into Photoshop and, you know, adjust the contrast or whatever, that's fine. But make sure that I can see the photos are good enough that I can just tell what you're doing. Okay, and then when you're finished with both of your micro projects, you're going to have your Word document with your menu concept, and then you're going to have these sketches. Then go to the week 1 discussion and launch that, and then go ahead and create a thread in which you can just copy and paste the text of your proposal, if you'd like, into the thread, and then insert your images of your sketches into the same thread. You can also make a separate thread. You can have one for the proposal and one for the images. That's fine. So either a separate thread or a single thread for both. Okay? So if you have questions, you can certainly email me. The specific requirements in the assignment link for Project 1 will be available during week 2, and then the specific requirements and the project link for Project 2, which is the menu design, will be available during week 3, and there will be some video tutorials for Project 2, the menu design, and for Project 1 there will be another micro project next week that will give you some practice in and show you some techniques in how you can develop your sketches into digital illustrations. Okay, micro project 3 is you're going to need to start working in Illustrator for that, and there are some video tutorials that some video instructions for that you can follow. And actually, under instructional videos, that's where you can find those. All right, so for micro project 3, you're going to want to refer to these videos.